Subscribe and ring the bell to never miss an update. Hello everyone! Today on Lady Mary Bath, we are previewing an estate sale, the first of many to come at this address. Located in the Spring Branch area of Houston, there is lots to discover inside. I can't wait to take you along. Join me. This home was quite a surprise, with another 4,000 square feet built out from the attic, just used as storage. Let's step inside and we can see some of these items, including home decor, lots of holiday, some furniture, and a lot of tabletop and collectibles. And you could say that the homeowner was a pack rat, a collector. She certainly enjoyed acquiring items, many of which are on display for sale, including a very familiar pattern. I'm delighted to take you inside this home for a look at some fantastic collections, tabletop, lots of seasonal items. This is hosted by Weister Auctions and Estate Sales. I will put their information in the video description and you can get on their email list. You will also want to go to estatesales.net, put in your zip code, and get notified of area sales. Let's have a look at all of the wonderful things here. It is full price the first day of the estate sale. Subsequent days are usually 25% off, then 50% off. Occasionally you get 75% off on the last day. This branch centerpiece would anchor a room with a rustic setting in the mountains or the hills of Tennessee. I love this. And it's a lot more manageable to have the tea light candles than tapers because you will not have any wax dripping. Some great serving utensils, pop of color with art glass, and a beverage dispenser. I like the Star Collection. This would be ideal for July 4th or New Year's Eve. Shoot for the stars, $30 for the pair of candle holders, and the shorter ones are $20. A spongeware plate for $10 I can see filled with cookies and brought to a July 4th celebration. A very familiar pattern that we have in our cabinet. We use these ice beverages for our everyday. We've got several patterns that we mix up. I'll tell you more about the manufacturer and the name. You probably have seen these in thrift stores. $45 for the set of sherbet dishes. I would probably wait for the second day of the sale. These are great for any kind of dessert or even serving champagne. You get lots of use out of this glass. You probably have seen this on the channel where I entertained and had beautiful table settings with this. And another pattern that you may have also seen in antique stores. It was advertised as a lucent beauty for your table. I love the classic and timeless look of these vintage glass pieces. They are made by two different companies and there are some distinct differences. I will tell you the history of one of these famous companies and how to differentiate these two pieces. The Imperial Glass Company opened its doors in 1904 in Bel Air, Ohio, under the direction of Edward Muhlman, who had a lot of experience in the glass industry. The Ohio Valley was ideal for glassmaking. In fact, it was known as Glass City, with the low-cost energy resources, rail and river transportation, and an abundance of workers. They were ready for some big orders, and that same year, they made a deal with F.W. Woolworth to supply all of his 500 stores. And these beautiful glass pieces were shipped in barrels to all of his locations, and I'll tell you more about this famous pattern. Candlewick was Imperial Glass Company's most successful pattern. Over 200 different pieces were made from 1936 to 1984 when they finally closed their doors and their assets were sold to the Lancaster Colony Company. This was a favorite of brides in the 1950s. My aunt had this as part of her bridal selection in the stemware. This bowl is well priced at $15. While you're now familiar with the Imperial Glass Company's Candlewick pattern, let's take a look at another design that mimics this classic look. It is Boopie glass, originally referred to as Berwick, made in the 1950s by Anchor Hocking. There are some distinct differences. Let's take a closer look. In Candlewick, the balls along the edge are separated from each other, very distinct separation, while Boopie glass has a different approach. You will see they are joined together by glass in between each of the balls. Candlewick was advertised as superbly handcrafted for daily family appreciation, as well as for the most memorable occasions. And we do use ours often, and it is dishwasher safe. And I know that you like furniture. I get lots of requests for that. This is a beautiful piece. One that you may have seen in antique stores. I will tell you more about the history and what you call this period furniture with great storage. A lovely Louis XV cabinet, and if you are a collector like this lady of the house was, you definitely need the space. You will see the stylized scroll at the very top of this piece. It is different than the Baroque period, which had more ornamentation. This is more of the Rococo style 18th century French craftsmanship. King Louis XV reigned from 1714 to 1774. Let's open this cabinet and see what we might discover inside. I know they've been moving things out of boxes, and this owl is quite interesting. Definitely a more modern piece. Owls are popular. For $40, that is a great find. That wooden bowl is quite nice, $73, the initial price. And for entertaining and serving, these aqua square bowls are ideal. And the divided dish is quite nice for $15. The blue and green combination is especially refreshing at $12. That would be a nice addition to your table, indoors or outdoors. These birch bark pillar candles are LED, as many of the candles are in this home. They're quite abundant here. My Tennessee family has a very similar bowl, smaller version, and they keep the remote control inside. And you'll see there's a combination of the rustic and the more traditional, something for everyone at this sale, including a beautiful ruffled cake pedestal. Initial price, $150. Lots of great vintage glass in this home, including an exquisite Fenton hobnail cake pedestal in that French white opalescent. And this one has an iridescent sheen, which I have not seen before. This is a top-selling line that Fenton introduced in 1940. It helped them to exist during the war and to expand afterwards. This is quite a find, and I will show you the mark on the base. I believe this is a newer Fenton piece, and you see that mold mark and also the seam from it being poured into a mold. I like the natural look and colors here, including those placemats and stacking cake stands in a beautiful shade. Going green with a pair of ruffled cake pedestals. These are newer, inspired by vintage pieces, and I believe from the Martha Stewart collection, priced at $46 for 2 pieces on the first day of the sale. Wouldn't that be great for entertaining? I love stacking cake stands. The cake pedestals are actually from the Valerie Parr Hill collection for QVC, a company name that we saw on lots of boxes in the attic storage. Some Easter items, and that ruffled milk glass cake stand would go with any season. And for $20, you could take that to a bakery, get a 6-inch cake, and that would be a lovely presentation for a party or celebration. A cut glass pitcher is classic. Very well priced at $25. I've shared lots of ways to incorporate pitchers into your everyday with a Pitcher Perfect segment. Makes a great gift as well. I love hearts, and this bowl you probably recognize as a familiar Tiffany & Company design, priced at $25. There's that acid etched logo. Lots of cake stands, and I'm especially liking the price on this Imperial Candlewick creamer and sugar set. For $12, that would be a fantastic gift and perfect for tea time. I like to approach an estate sale with gifting in mind, and at $25, this Imperial Candlewick sandwich server is perfect. And it happens to have a monogram. That is interesting. You certainly don't see that today with glass. It's an elegant piece. I actually saw another one in the home as well. And I think a monogram adds interest. For $20, this triple-footed platter has a lip around it. You could certainly contain food there that could be used as a base for a centerpiece. Place a cloche on top, and you can create a story. And I see something across the room in a very familiar pattern. I made a beeline for the Imperial Candlewick punch set. I'll see if I can lift it up and give you a better view of it. A party-perfect punch set in the Imperial Candlewick pattern. This is timeless, and you can use this in so many ways. Even without the punch cups, the bowl could be utilized for fruit salad, chips on a buffet, even organizing accessories in your closet. At $125, this is a good deal. And of course, the base or platter of that punch set could be used in many different ways. Candles. They could open a retail store with all of the LEDs here, and they're quite expensive when you price them, even at a craft store. It's a great opportunity to pick up something that you could use in your everyday. Lenox Tuscany wine carafe with glasses, priced at $75, brand new in a box. We see lots of that, especially in the storage. And it's a winter wonderland. The aqua and silver and white, those are great colors together for a refreshing holiday look. And in the summertime, I would think that you could probably wait until the last day of the sale to buy Christmas, because most folks are not thinking about that with the summer months. They initially thought this might be Annie glass, and they're going to rethink that. Stacking mugs would make a great gift. These are brand new. And at $4 each, wouldn't these be fun chargers to use for children? Those are quite interesting. Salt and pepper shakers, and you'll see those new boxes. So much that you could use for your gifting. A familiar brand of dolls that you have seen in previous estate sales. You often find them in pristine condition, new in a box, even though some of these might be quite older. They're not necessarily given to children to play with, although I did buy my girls some when they were little. There are lots of different collections, including some that are quite rare. There's one that's currently on eBay called Agatha, Me and My Shadow, and it's selling for $8,500. Didn't find that at this sale today, but you never know. Always a good idea to learn about some of these hard-to-find dolls. In 1923, Madame Beatrice Alexander of New York started the Alexander Doll Company. She revolutionized the doll industry with attention to detail, with the delicate features, fashion, and heirloom quality. A large Madame Alexander doll with the gorgeous green eyes, priced at $200 the first day of the sale, and for the serious collector, this might be their best bargain. The bottom shelf advantage at $20. Madame Alexander was a smart businesswoman. She was the first to create a doll based on a licensed character. You guessed it, Scarlett O'Hara from the book and movie Gone with the Wind. The Scarlett O'Hara character was known for using the curtains at Tara to make a dress and woo Red Butler. Let's take a look under this cloth and see what we can discover. I just knew it, that we would find some fantastic sterling flatware. It's a beautiful design. And of course we can turn it over and look for that hallmark. And in this case, we actually have the pattern name. chapel bells. And here's the hallmark of Alvin Sterling. Look near the checkout stand for valuables, especially the sterling silver flatware and hollowware. And here we have a lovely pattern from the Alvin Silver Company, chapel bells. This company started in 1886 in New Jersey and later moved to Sag Harbor, New York. They were known for quality in the 19th century. They usually have preview photos for you several days before the auction and the day before they release the address. I'm sure you're familiar with this collection. Lots to talk about with the history, some things you might not have heard before. There are two great items of interest to share with you, the Precious Moments collection and a piano with a bit of history. Let's take a look at these. If you have this collection, I would love to hear from you in the comments below, and especially if you have some of the rare items. They made figurines to celebrate many different milestones, and some probably more popular than others. I just can't believe the prices. Very affordable here. And this Free Puppies is worth quite a lot of money. I'll tell you more about the back stamp and how to look at this to find the valuables. Perhaps you recognize these figurines. Maybe you've walked into someone's home and they have a cabinet full of them. These became highly collectible and have an interesting history. They were designed by the illustrator Samuel J. Butcher, inspired by family, faith, and friends. The soulful look of these children with their teardrop eyes were originally on greeting cards. And in 1978, he partnered with UNESCO to produce the original 21 Precious Moments figurines. They were originally intended as a giftware line sold in Hallmark stores, and eventually they became highly collectible because they started a collectors club. That was brilliant marketing. And today they sell for about $40 and up on the website, many of them $80. And these are well priced, $12 to $15. And if you're looking for a valuable one, I'll share some information with you. More than 2,500 different figurines were made by Precious Moments. And some of these are worth a mint if you know what to look for. The original name for the greeting cards featuring these illustrations was Jonathan and David. And here we have a diamond in the rough. This is one that is worth about $300 on the secondary market, and the price here at the estate sale is $150. They have already identified that, and that beautiful back stamp gives it away. Quite an amazing instrument here. This J.B. Kramer and Company of London piano design is something that has a very interesting history, dating back to the 1800s. And some design elements that you don't see in your average piano. And of course, those brass candle holders are meant for light when you didn't have electricity. Burled wood, amazing legs. The initial price is $15,000, and the going rate for this model is $30,000. And here it is closed, and you can get a closer look at some of these beautiful patterns and designs. This piano has some chinoiserie influences. You will notice that meandering pattern that actually predates the Greek key. And there is a reason for some ties to chinoiserie. I'll tell you about the history. Founded in 1824 by musician John Baptist Kramer, along with partners Robert Addison and Thomas Frederick Beale, the company originally was known as Kramer, Addison, and Beale. Kramer left the business in 1833, but his name struck a chord and popped up time and again. In 1960, the company was purchased by Kemble and Company. They were exporters for the Asian market, and that's why we have some of the chinoiserie influences. They are known for quality and the original British piano design. Home decor and holiday. And you'll see that jadeite cake stand goes with just about every season here, including Christmas. Some character collections as well. Sylvester and Tweety Bird are salt and pepper shakers for $45. And Disney as well. Christmas seemed to be a focus for this collector, including some trees at $6 and $7. Estate sales are a great opportunity to pick up some seasonal items. And if you can't see the forest for the trees, think about some parties, weddings, events that you might be hosting. This would be a great way, an inexpensive opportunity for table decor. The lucite lamp would be a wonderful addition to your living space. The ceramic tree, very popular. Now we're going to one of the back rooms of the home with some metal serveware, which is great for indoors and outdoors. Some dishes, there's Mickey Mouse again, and more metal serveware. This rabbit dish is fun. It'd be great for Easter, priced at $10. And there are also quite a few cookie jars. Be great for birthday celebrations and, of course, Christmas. And the cupcake is actually from David's, priced at $50. Some fun items in this area of the house. Lots of these were brand new in boxes. Not everything was enjoyed by the homeowner. They were simply collected and stored. This cookie jar is such fun. That would add some pizzazz to your kitchen, priced at $50 the first day of the sale. Snow globes, more ruffled cake stands from QVC, and snowmen. I probably saw another 100 snowmen in the attic, so you'll want to make sure to follow the next sales. Lots of black and white dishes as well. These are from Temptations, and I can see these for Halloween with a pop of orange. There's a lot more to come in this home. You will find more sales in the future. Be sure to follow the estate sale company. I will share their information in the video description, and I can't wait to see what they bring out next. So glad you joined me today for the estate sale preview. There's lots to discover, and a bit of history makes it even more interesting. And you might find a Tiffany Co bowl that is great for gifting. Thanks again for joining Lady Mary Beth. Elevate your everyday with estate sale shopping.